Hello, my creepy poples. Welcome to Creepy Corners. So this week I want to talk about Morgana. She's my tarantula. And I want to talk about mites and how my dealings with them this past week. So Wednesday night, Thursday night, I was getting ready to go to bed. And I usually check on Morgana in the morning and in the evening before I go to bed, just make sure she's got enough water and she's doing okay and whatever. And I noticed something on the outside of her cage, and I looked closer and there was a colony of mites. Now, I didn't get pictures of it. I was panicked. And all I could think of was get rid of as many of them as I can. Because I know what I have to do next, and I didn't have the supplies that I needed to do what I needed to do. So I got rid of as many as I could. I couldn't, she won't let me touch her, which understandable. I mean, she's a spider. She doesn't want to be touched. So I took the cage and I took it because it sits in my bedroom. So I, of course, started freaking out. I stripped the bed. I stripped myself. I got everything down in the laundry, you know, just to get that stuff out of there. I doubt that they were in all that stuff because they're really attracted to moisture, which is actually the reason why they were in her cage. And I think that they came from this pet store that's kind of a local pet store. I mean, I guess it should have been kind of a red flag that it wasn't the cleanest pet store I'd ever seen, but I looked at their animals and their animals seemed pretty well taken care of, and so it didn't really dawn on me about the crickets that I bought. And apparently the mites can come in on the crickets. So that's my assumption. And over time, I noticed that she had these little bumps on her back, or not bumps, but little spots on her back. And I thought, well, maybe she's just getting ready to molt and she's just losing her hair. And I looked it up online, and a lot of people said that could be it. And I didn't really notice any mites or anything on her at the time. So I just let it go. And then the other day I noticed that she was grooming, which I'd never seen her do this grooming before. I thought it was really interesting, and it's, you know, she was kind of like rubbing her leg on her abdomen and then rubbing her fangs and stuff like that. And I looked it up. I looked up the video, you know, looked it up on YouTube to see if anybody else had video of their tarantula doing this. And indeed, there are a ton of tarantula grooming videos out there. So I thought, oh cool, well she's grooming herself. So it wasn't, and I got some video of that, and I'll put that in right here. It wasn't until, I guess I must have got that video on Tuesday, maybe Tuesday or Wednesday. So it wasn't until Thursday night that I noticed the mites. And like I said, I didn't have any substrate to change out to start the process then. So, and it was 11 o'clock at night, so no pet stores were open. So, and I had to go to work the next day. I didn't have a choice. So I go to work, the whole day I'm worried about her. As soon as I get off work, I go straight to the pet store, the chain pet store, and I get some new substrate, and I come home, I clean out her cage. I have 2 cages for her. just for this reason, you know, in case I need to switch her out for any reason. So I filled up the other cage with new substrate, and I, you know, started, when I moved her over before, I had to dig out the dirt and stuff like that. I started digging out the dirt in this one and put in it a trash bag to get it out of the house. And she came up out of her hide, and it was pretty easy to get her into a cup. She just basically climbed out of her hide, turned around, and walked into the cup. And I put a cover over it and got her out of there. Now that Luna's done doing her business. Anyway, so I got her moved over to the other cage. She stayed in the cup. I feel like she sort of felt safe in there or something. And I don't have holes drilled in the bottom of it. I mean, because I've used it for other stuff too. And anyway, so I wasn't able to get her out of it that way. And I thought, as long as she's gonna stay in there, I'm fine with it, because I just want her to feel as safe as possible and not being like she's being attacked. So anyway, so I will show you, I went to the pet store today, and I got her some new stuff for her cage. Luna, say hi, Luna, or don't. You better get out of here. So I'm gonna turn the camera around. Can you see her? She just had a cricket. She actually did eat. I'll see if I can. So there she is. You can see the little spots on her back. Hopefully those will go away. But I got her little Buddha head and some plants, and she's got her water, and she's got a place to just sit if she wants. But there you go. Horrible right here. And I don't want to blind her. So hopefully they don't come back and she can start getting better. I'm thinking she's probably gonna molt soon. So hopefully we can get all this stuff dealt with and help her. I was gonna see if underneath, if you could see the cricket, because she's still eating it. But yeah, I was pretty upset, and I'm hoping she's gonna start making her den again. And you see my finger, making her den in there, and hopefully she'll start webbing up and stuff. But for now, that's what we got. So, oh gosh, nobody needs that kind of light. So my thought here is to just keep it dry in there for a little while. I mean, she's got water, she just had food, so I mean, and she's a desert spider anyway, so hopefully she's gonna be okay. But man, it really scares me. So if you have tarantulas, or if you, I guess, are new to a tarantula, I've had her now for 2 years, I believe, a little over 2 years. Look out for mites. I mean, look around the edge of the enclosure, see if anything, I mean, just sit there and stare at it for a minute and see if anything moves. Look on them if they act weird. You know, check them out closer. I am not an expert at all, obviously, or I would have realized that there was something wrong with her to start with. But yeah, so I'm super worried about her, and I'm hoping that she's okay. I mean, I know they're supposed to be really resilient animals, but anyway, so that's my video for this week. That is what I have been dealing with in today's Sunday when I'm filming this. So I dealt with it Friday, yesterday, and today. I've been checking on her nonstop, making sure she's doing okay. Went and got, like I said, went and got her some new stuff and crickets, and of course I washed all this stuff thoroughly. As a matter of fact, I she's got her cork bark in there, and you can bake it. So I baked it at 325 for 20 minutes to kill anything that possibly was in that cork bark. The new stuff that I got her, I washed it really well. Her water dish and stuff, I washed all that stuff and actually put one of them in the freezer overnight. So I'm freaking out. I mean, it freaked me out to see those on her and on the cage, because they were all along the lip and stuff. So anyway, I know I just said I was gonna stop. So have a good day or good night, or you know, wherever you are. All right, I'll talk to you next week. Bye.